Welcome to Voice Talk. This is where you will get expert tips on vocal technique, science, and artistry to help you become a better vocalist. Lisa was my guinea pig student for my first live lesson. It was such a great learning experience for me to go through this lesson with Lisa, and then even to sort of go back through it and figure out what parts I really wanted to share with you that I thought would be the most helpful. First, I think the most interesting thing about it is the differences between a classical and a contemporary sound. Lisa, originally from California, but now residing in Germany, she was trained classically and had a wonderful opera career on the big stage in Europe for 20 years or more. So she really did a lot of amazing performances there and sang classical for many, many years. So she's now a voice teacher and teaches classical singing, but also has students that want to sing more contemporary and pop. So we decided to work on Adele's song Skyfall together and help her find a more contemporary sound from where she was at. The end goal is that we want communication, we want style that feels appropriate for the song, or at least appropriate. It's the choice of the singer. You want to feel like you are in control of that style. You're not doing something just because it's the only way you know how to do it, right? So having that cross training between, like, if you do like to sing classical as well as pop, knowing sort of how to find those two different sounds can be really wonderful and give you a lot of options. Let's jump in. I want to play the lesson for you so you can hear.
Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all. Together, let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together at sky fall.
Okay, cool. All right, so now, Lisa, great job, and thank you so much for allowing me to share this. I just am so appreciative. So now you heard. Let's talk about just mainly those high notes on at the end of the phrases. The fall to now I think it was fall is the word. So she kind of flipped into a classical voice on the first one, and then the second one she really tried to go for it and belt it, but it was a little bit on the shouty side, right? So the first thing I did was I added a cry. So let's hear what happened. What happens if you add a little bit of cry to it? And give me and let's go mum 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 mum.
Yeah, that's where it's from.
Let's stay there. So you can hear already that brought her a little bit out of that big spacious place that was happening in the throat and brought that sound a little bit forward. Let me know if you agree. The next thing that I wanted to try with her, and we worked a little bit longer than what you're seeing in the video. I edited it down because I didn't want it to take too long. But the next thing I wanted to take her into was that pharyngeal twang, because she was a little bit heavy. She definitely had a lot of power going on, and there was a lot of chest voice happening, and I felt like that was also needing to come down in the lower part of her range so that she could get up to those high notes without getting a little shouty on them. So the next thing we went into was using the pharyngeal or twang sound, and this is how we did it. Yeah, like a weird baby duck cry. Hang out for me. Yeah, and just and I wouldn't even allow any vibrato in, just So I also used the straw to help thin her out as well. I think I'm going to actually skip through the straw a little bit because I am running out of time, but I just want you to know that you can use the straw to also help just even out the range and get the balance between the airflow and the muscle and that resonance. So we're going to skip through that. Okay. Like when you just do head voice all the way down, like you're actually when you're bringing. Oh, okay. Actually, here we'll listen to this part. So in the straw, she was even kind of finding a little too much squeeze in it. So what I had her do was just pretend like she was just bringing her head voice down so that she could experience that stretch that was going to happen with the CT muscles and not so much TA, which is the chest voice. So you'll hear how when I had her, I know you don't have the comparison, but you'll hear it in this part. Head voice down to the bottom. And you can hear how it's nice and even. She's not.
Last note always ends up going into some kind of body sound.
Just speak the word. So I thought that was interesting too. So Lisa feels her chest voice as a body sound. That's like how I heard her. She described it that way a couple times. So I think it's really interesting. You can figure out what that is for yourself. Do you feel your chest voice in your body? Do you feel your head voice in your head? How do you want to describe it? Some people want to say, oh, I feel it like the color pink or whatever. But whatever that is for you, just start to associate those sensations. For me.
Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall and face it all together. That's sky fall.
Let the sky. So I wanted to get her talking a little bit more so that she wasn't doing so much to the sound and so much in her resonating track, just using her natural speaking voice. And then I wanted to trick her by taking it up a little bit higher so that she could get that mix feeling on those higher notes instead of flipping. So you can hear it here. Oh, let the sky fall, and just talk it a little bit.
Let the sky fall, let it crumble, we will stand tall.
No, 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 no. So here we're getting a little bit, okay, so she did better. You could hear how we're getting closer and closer, right? So then I'm going to take her now into a little bit more of a pharyngeal on a na, na, na. So she's going to feel that. Well, I don't want to tell her where she's going to feel it, but na, 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 na. It's going to feel more like, or I feel that more in the front, right? So even though is a back vowel, we are giving it that pharyngeal feel. I'm having her do it a little bit bratty, which is that twang, okay? And on a n.
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting. I asked her how it felt. Is it comfortable?
Yes, I feel more of my head voice in it.
And that was what I wanted. I wanted her to feel more head voice in it because it was too heavy, right? So we narrowed the vowel. I'm having her narrow to an so that she can still drop her jaw and still have brightness, but she's not going to shout. And go a little bratty. But it's okay, yeah. Think out the mouth. So that she doesn't get nasally, we're having her think out the mouth. Try the B again. Be okay with it feeling a little, not as spacious.
Yeah,
Be okay with it, like, being a little, like, Good. So I'm just trying to get her used to feeling some different sensations, right? So that, because she's so used to feeling that big space at the back of her vocal tract. So let's see. I'm going to come a little bit further forward here. And just think a little head. Let it be. So I want you to drop your jaw way more. Okay, sorry, I fast forward. Like a little between the ooh and the right? Okay, so now we're on the still narrowing her. I want you to drop your jaw way more, even if it's exaggerated. So try it on toe, toe, and just think a little head. Let it be a little headier. So now on the top note, go to ta, but then go into the as you go down.
Okay.
Tull, tull at the top.
Stand tall. Yeah, that's much better.
Much better. Yeah, and even on fall, think So sky fall. So we're getting there, right? So we're getting a lot closer. We're getting her feeling it a little bit more in the front, and we're using that those pharyngeal, the cry, all that. So let's see where we are here. Oh, let me have you listen to this part.
When it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together. The sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together.
Better. Cool. So we're a lot closer, right? We're getting much closer. We're gonna come a little bit forward here. Let's see. Do it on that. That was good. But so now I'm really gonna get her a little more pharyngeal. I still need to thin her out a little bit because she's still a little bit weighty, still a little heavy. So we're gonna go into the pharyngeal, and I still want her feeling it a little bit more front. So.
Okay. So now I pulled it back. Wanted to go into the heavy, but I pulled it back.
You did great. So now sing it with the vowels that we changed, but put it in the same place that you just felt that.
Okay. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together.
And then getting you more thinning you out, thinning the chords. So that was where we got to, and I was really excited for Lisa about that. I felt like, did you guys hear how different that was from where we started from in the beginning? And I'm just gonna play this last little bit so you can hear how it felt for Lisa. Structure out a little and getting it a little more twangy on that. And you can even stick your tongue out a little. Now sing it and put it right in that same spot, but use the vowels that we chose. Oh, we're gonna hear it one more time.
Let it crumble. We will stand tall and face it all together.
Good. Can you add a little cry on the top note?
Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall and face it all together.
That is the one where I think we really got the closest, and that is super exciting to me. So the cry really helped her. Going pharyngeal really helped her. We had to use these extreme tools because it's an extreme sound to be in that really operatic classical sound, and to have been doing that for so many years and be so used to those sensations. So we went pretty extreme with the tools. Here's how Lisa felt about it. Good.
Yeah, when it has the cry, then it has more head voice, or more of that prettier sound. It's not so. Yeah, that felt very easy.
Good. And did it sound to your ear more contemporary and more what you were looking for?
Definitely. My problem is, as you notice also when I talk, I have, after being so long on stage, and going from Brunhilde to singing like this, it's a huge gear change.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to find But that felt like I was able to support it. It still felt like singing, but it was singing. It was still the way I know my voice works, but it was like leaving out all the classical acoustical help that I usually add to the voice.
Cool. Yay. So thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing yourself with us and this experience with me. That was the lesson. So I felt like, to my ear, we got a lot closer to a much more contemporary sound. And I know for myself, it took me a while to get used to that feeling, and almost a feeling of doing less, or and doing more in different ways. But it took me a while to kind of be able to stop, or be able to kind of change the way that I approached certain types of singing, instead of creating so much space in the back. And then everything sounded, classical. But if you can train both ways, then you're able to go from that legit classical sound to also a contemporary pop sound. Again, Lisa, thank you so much for being my guinea pig. This was really fun. I learned so much. All right, you guys, thank you so much. This was so much fun. Yay. Thanks, guys. It was so great to have you here. And I hope to see you next week. Okay, take care. Bye.